When was it time to stop being Mr. Nice Guy? My girlfriend came home at 2 a.m. with her underwear and dress torn open, screaming for me to help her. She collapsed into my arms, and I could feel her whole body trembling. She kept throwing up and shaking all over our carpet. I helped her to the couch and got her a glass of water while trying to stay calm myself because I was sure my worst fear just happened. Juna is without a doubt the strongest person I know. She worked as a prosecutor and dealt with assaulters, PDF files, and slaughterers every day without flinching. But now she looked broken and small, literally rocking on our couch. She kept apologizing for ruining my night, which made no sense, and I assured her she did nothing wrong. At the club, some guy had cornered her outside the bathroom when she was alone. According to her, he towered over her, was super muscular, and his breath reeked of whiskey. He pushed her against the wall and put his hands where they didn't belong, while she screamed for help. The music was too loud, and her friends were too far away. She tried to fight back, but he already had his way with her. The worst part was what happened next. Juna found security and told them exactly what occurred. She pointed out the guy who was laughing with his friends near the VIP section. The bouncer just shrugged and said, "What do you want me to do without any witnesses, lady?" Then he leaned in close and told her that the guy was the owner's nephew, so maybe she should just go home and sleep it off, and that it probably wasn't that bad. I felt rage building in my chest, as Juna explained how the manager said the same thing, how her friends wanted to call the police, but the staff threatened to ban them all of them from every club in a 5-mile radius for causing trouble. Literally, other women at the club whispered that the same guy had done this before, but nothing ever happened. The place protected him because his uncle owned 3 clubs in the city. Juna was a prosecutor who put criminals away for a living, but even she knew this would go nowhere. Rich guys with connections didn't face consequences for gaping women in dark clubs. There would be no cameras in that hallway, and no witnesses willing to testify. The system she worked for every day had failed her completely. I held her while she cried, and felt more helpless than ever before in my life. I didn't know people who could handle this kind of thing. There was nothing I could do that would touch that man. But then I remembered that my father would know what to do. My dad had spent 30 years working construction in the roughest parts of the city. He knew people from a different world than mine, people who handle problems outside the law, when the law wouldn't help. I'd spent my whole life trying to distance myself from that part of his past, but now I needed it. The next morning, while Juna was sleeping, I drove to my parents' house. My dad was drinking coffee in the garage, like always, surrounded by his tools and old boxing trophies. I told him everything, and watched his face go from confused to furious. He sat down his mug so hard it spilled everywhere. "You know the guy's name?" he asked in a voice I'd never heard before. I showed him the club's Instagram, where the nephew was tagged in VIP photos, flashing expensive watches and bottles. My dad studied the pictures like he was memorizing every detail of the guy's face. My father made some calls right there in the garage. I could only hear his side of the conversations, but they were short and serious. He used names I didn't recognize and mentioned favors that were owed. When he hung up, he told me to go home and take care of Juna. He said he would handle everything else. 3 days later, the local news reported that the club owner's nephew had been found in an alley behind one of his uncle's properties. Both his hands were broken in multiple places. His ribs were all broken, his eyes were swollen, and he had a $1,000 bottle of tequila shoved up his bum. The report said no witnesses came forward and no cameras covered that particular alley, so they couldn't prosecute anyone. The interesting part was what they found in his apartment during the investigation. Hard drives full of videos he'd taken of women at the clubs without their knowledge. Pictures and underwear he kept as trophies from his assaults. Evidence of at least 15 victims over 3 years. The police said they'd received an anonymous tip about where to look. All 3 clubs shut down within a month when the investigations expanded. The owner was arrested for covering up his nephew's crimes and bribing city officials. 7 women came forward to press charges once they knew he couldn't hurt them anymore. Juna wasn't one of them, but she followed every development in the case. My dad never said anything about it directly. When I tried to thank him, he just squeezed my shoulder and changed the subject to baseball. But I noticed he had new scars on his knuckles that hadn't been there before. Juna noticed too, but never asked about them. My father knew people who operated by different rules. Rules that said men who hurt women deserved to have their hands broken so badly they'd never touch anyone again. Story 2 at dinner. My fiancé's friends demanded I prove my worth by paying their $800 tab. My fiancé agreed. I said, okay. Then I stood up, walked to the bar, paid for my single drink, and left. The panicked voicemail I got from her 20 minutes later when she realized I was actually gone was priceless. I'm 33, male. I guess I'm a guy who just learned a $14,500 lesson. And all it cost me in the end was $18. I was engaged to Amelia 30. We'd been together for 4 years, engaged for 2 months. It felt right. I work in logistics. My job is literally to make sure things get from A to B logically and efficiently. She's in event planning, which, in hindsight, should have been a red flag. Her entire life is about aesthetics and the vibe. Her friends, oh man. Her friends, Talia, 30, Becca, 29, and Chloe, 30. They're a monolith of bottomless mimosas, designer knockoff handbags, and vocal fry. I was never good enough. Not in the he's a bad person way, but in the his car is 3 years old way. I tolerated them because I loved Amelia. The engagement ring wasn't an heirloom. I bought it after months of research. A 2.2 carat oval cut lab-grown diamond. Flawless. She picked it out. I paid my credit card. My account $14,500. She loved it. Or at least she loved showing it to people. Last Friday night, Amelia said, "Babe, the girls are so excited. They want to take us out for a proper engagement celebration. Their treat, of course. We're going to Aperture." Aperture, of course. One of those painfully trendy new places where the menu is just a list of ingredients and every cocktail has smoker foam. I'm a beer and burger guy, but their treat, fine. We got there at 8 p.m. The place is loud, dark. The girls are already there, 3 martinis deep. Talia shrieks, air kissing the space next to my head. Amelia immediately gets swept up, ordering the same pink drink they all have. The dinner is a performance. They're ordering everything. We have to try the tuna crudo. Oh my god, oysters, 2 dozen. 2 bottles of the Sayer and a round of espresso martinis with the oysters. Don't look at me like that, Leo. It's a vibe. I'm just sitting there sipping one old-fashioned. I'm watching Amelia. She's not the woman I know. She's performing. Laughing too loud. Flashing her ring under the pin light like she's signaling a ship. I'm getting a bad feeling. The their treat part just felt wrong. After 2 hours of this, plates are cleared. They're all drunk, loud, and obnoxious. The waiter, who looks exhausted, drops the bill in the center of the table. No one moves. Then Talia, with this slow, smug smile, slides the check directly in front of me. "So, Leo," she says, her voice suddenly serious. The other 2 stop talking and stare at me. It's a rehearsed, hostile silence. "Oh," I say, not touching the bill. "We've been talking," Talia continues, leaning in. "And we worry about Amelia. She's our girl. She deserves a certain kind of life, and you're, fine. But we need to know you're really going to provide for her. That you're worthy." I feel the blood drain from my face. I look at Amelia. This is her moment. Her moment to laugh and say, "Talia, shut up." "What are you doing?" She doesn't. She giggles. A high-pitched, tipsy, nervous giggle. "Leo, don't be so serious," she says, patting my arm. They're just teasing, but I mean, they're not wrong. It is kind of tradition for the man to, show his appreciation. I stare at her. Show my appreciation for what? Becca chimes in. For us. For letting you into her life. We think you should prove your worth and pick this up. Show us you can handle her. My brain, the logistics part, is calculating. This isn't a joke. This is a shakedown. This is a test. I look down at the leather folder. I open it. Total $8,560 for 5 people on a dinner they invited me to as their treat. I look up at Amelia. Her eyes are bright, expectant. She's smiling. She's with them. She wants to see what I'll do. I suddenly see the next 40 years. Every vacation, every holiday, every dinner being tested. Having my worth evaluated by these 3 harpies, with my wife smiling and egging them on. I close the bill folder. "Okay," I say. Talia's smile widens. Amelia squeezes my arm. "Yay, I knew you'd." I stand up. They all look at me. Confused. "I'll be right back," I say. I walk away from the table. Not toward the restroom, toward the bar. The waiter who served us is there inputting an order. I flag him down. "Hey man, I was at that table," I say, pointing. "Table 12. Yes, sir. I just had one old-fashioned. Can I pay for that separately? I've got to head out. Emergency at work." The waiter, bless his heart, is a pro. He sees the chaos at that table, looks at me, and just gets it. "Absolutely, sir. That'll be $18. I hand him a $20 bill and my debit card to pay in cash from the register, but he waves it off. "Don't worry, I'll just run the card." It's faster. He runs my card. $18. I add a $5 tip on the handheld. "Thank you," I say. "Have a good night, sir," he says with a look that says, "Run." I walk straight past their table. I don't look at them. I hear Amelia say, "Leo, where are you going?" I don't break stride. I push open the heavy glass door, walk out into the cool night air, get in my car, and drive. My phone is silent for exactly 20 minutes. I'm almost home when it lights up. Amelia. I let it ring and ring. It stops. A notification pops up. New voicemail. I park in my spot, turn off the engine, and play it. It's not angry. It's not confused. It's pure high-octane panic. Leo, where did you go?" The waiter just came back and said, she said, "You only paid for your drink." "Leo, the bill is still here. It's $7.96. Leo, this isn't funny. My card just got declined." "My card was declined? Talia's was too. She says she doesn't get paid till next week." "Leo, this isn't funny. They're saying they'll call the police if we don't pay. Call me back. You can't just leave me here." "You did this." I listened to it twice. Then I turned off my phone, went inside my apartment, and poured myself a very large, very real drink. Update 1. It's been 48 hours. Wow. The entitlement is a renewable resource. I'm not at home. I'm at my brother's place. The apartment is mine. My name is on the lease, my credit check. I pay 80% of the rent. And Amelia pays a token $500 contribution to me. It's my place. So, here's the play-by-play after the voicemail. Friday night, 11 p.m. I went home. I was numb, but also weirdly clear-headed. The logistics part of my brain was fully engaged. This was a problem to be solved. I packed a duffel bag, work clothes for a week, toiletries, my laptop. I went to my desk. I found the file with all our important docs. I took the GIA certification papers and the receipt for the engagement ring. $14,500 paid in full by me. Then I left. Drove to my brother's. He was up. I just said, "It's over with Amelia. Can I crash?" He nodded, got me a beer, and left me alone. Saturday. I turned my phone back on. It was a digital explosion. Lowers plus missed calls from Amelia. Talia and Becca, a wall of texts. Amelia, "I'm coming home now. You better be there. How could you abandon me?" Talia had to call her dad at midnight to pay the bill. I have never been so humiliated in my entire life. We are fighting. Talia, from a number I didn't have. "You are a pathetic, broke little boy. You just proved you're not a real man. Amelia deserves so much better. And I'm going to make sure she gets it." Amelia, "This is all your fault. You made me look like a fool in front of my friends." Leo, "I'm at the apartment. Your car is gone. Where are you? Did you change the locks?" I let her spiral for a bit. Then around 9 a.m., I sent my first and only text. "Amelia, I'm at my brother's. After your little test last night, it's clear we have fundamental differences in values. Your decision to side with your friends and attempt to humiliate me into paying an $800 bill was a deal breaker. We are done." The response was instant. Amelia, "A deal breaker over a dinner bill?" Leo, "You are blowing this way out of proportion. I was drunk. They were joking. You are the one who embarrassed me. You made me look poor." I didn't reply. Then the real motive came out. Amelia, an hour later. "Fine, be mad, but I need to get into the apartment. My work laptop is there, and I have a presentation on Monday, and I need money. My card still isn't working. You need to turn it back on." "My car payment is due," I replied. "The card you use is an authorized user card on my personal account. It was a card for my partner. You made it clear on Friday that you are no longer my partner. It is not being turned back on. The partnership is dissolved." Amelia, "You can't do that." "That's financial abuse. I'm calling the police. I have a right to my money. And she did. She actually called the cops. Around 2 p.m., I get a call from a private number. It's a police officer. Sir, I'm here with a Miss Amelia. She's saying you've locked her out of her residence and cut off her access to money. I was calm. Officer, it is 100% my apartment. My name is the only one on the lease. Missa last name is my ex-fiancée. She is not a tenant. She's welcome to retrieve her personal belongings, but I am not at the apartment, and I am not comfortable with her being there without me present. This is a civil matter. As for the money, she is referring to a credit card on my personal account, which I, as the primary account holder, have every right to deactivate. I heard him sigh through the phone. Ma'am, he says, his voice muffled. He's right. It's his lease. This is a civil dispute. We can't force entry. You need to arrange a time with him to get your things. I heard her start to wail. But my laptop, my clothes. The call ended. Then the text from Amelia got desperate. Then cold. Then finally fatally stupid. You know what? Fine. Keep your stupid apartment. Keep your stupid money. You are a cold, petty, vindictive man. But I'm keeping the ring. You humiliated me. I deserve something for the 4 years I wasted on you. Consider it payment for emotional distress. I read that text and I smiled. She just put it in writing. This was no longer a spat. This was theft. My response was methodical. Step 1. I called my insurance company. Hello, I need to make a report. My engagement ring valued at $14,500 has been stolen. I have the GIA certification and the original receipt. I know who has it. My ex-fiancée, Amelia. She's currently at her parents' address, I assume, and has admitted in a text message that she's keeping it and refuses to return it. The insurance agent, who sounded bored at first, suddenly became very interested. She admitted it in writing. Sir, oh yes, we can definitely open a claim. We will be investigating this. Our legal department takes this very seriously. Step 2. I sent a final text to Amelia. Me. Amelia, the engagement ring is a conditional gift given in contemplation of marriage. The condition is now void. Your text stating you are keeping the ring as payment is an admission of theft. I have already initiated a claim with my insurance company. They will be contacting you. You have until 5 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday, to return the ring to me in person. If you do not, I will be filing a full police report for felony theft, and the insurance company will proceed with their fraud investigation, which may involve criminal charges. This is not a negotiation. 5 p.m. tomorrow. She replied, I'm a strong woman. I deserve this bravado. Vanished like a fart in the wind. Amelia theft insurance? You wouldn't. You're lying. That will ruin my life. They'll arrest me. Leo, please. This is insane. You're ruining my life over a stupid ring. I didn't reply. My phone went silent for a few hours. Then a new message. A DM from Talia. Talia, you're really threatening to put a woman in jail over a gift you gave her. You're the definition of a small, pathetic, insecure man. We're going to tell everyone what kind of monster you are. I just screenshotted it and sent it to my brother with the caption, Monster. LOL. The 5:00 p.m. deadline is tomorrow. The ball is in her court. Final update. Hey Reddit, it's over. The saga is finished. And I'm still processing the sheer weapons-grade stupidity of it all. Here's the breakdown. The deadline. Sunday 5:00 p.m. came and went. No text, no call, no Amelia. I sat at my brother's kitchen table looking at my phone. Part of me was sad. I really thought deep down she'd do the right thing. But she didn't. She called my bluff. So I acted. Sunday 5:55 p.m. I called the non-emergency police line. I need to file a report for felony theft. I laid it all out. The ring's value, $14,500. The GIA cert number, my ex-fiancée's name, and crucially, a printout of the text message about keeping the ring. The officer was all business. Sir, an item of this value with a written admission of intent to deprive you of it. Yes, that's felony theft. We will have a detective reach out to her. He gave me a case number. Sunday 5:30 p.m. I called my insurance agent back. Hi, it's Leo. The 5:00 p.m. deadline passed. She has not returned the ring. I have filed a police report. Here is the case number. The agent was, I can only describe as gleeful. Insurance companies hate paying out claims. But they love it when they have a clear prosecutable party to go after to retrieve their money. Thank you, Mr. Last Name. Our legal team will take it from here. They will be in contact with Miss Amelia, last name shortly. You should be compensated for your loss, and we will pursue our asset. That phrase, pursue our asset, was chilling and satisfying. The fallout. The gravity of her situation didn't land on Amelia. She's too insulated by her own entitlement. It landed on her parents Tuesday. 9 a.m. I'm at work trying to focus on a shipping manifest when my phone rings. An unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. The voicemail is from her father. Robert. I've always liked Robert. He's a no-nonsense old-school guy. A retired engineer. He sounded furious. Leo, it's Robert, last name. I just had a detective from the city police department call my house. My house, Leo, asking for Amelia. Something about a $14,000 ring you're claiming she stole. You need to call me now. I called him back. Robert, hello? I assume Amelia told you what happened. She told me some damn nonsense about a dinner bill, and you overreacting and being abusive. She failed to mention the police. Start from the beginning. Tell me the truth. So I did. I told him everything. The Their Treat invitation. The $814 bill, the Prove Your Worth test. Me leaving, her texts, her demand to keep the ring as payment. There was dead silence on the line for a good 30 seconds. Then a sigh so heavy it felt like it came from his shoes. Talia, he said. It wasn't a question. Yes, that girl has been poisoned since they were in high school. Leo, I am so sorry. My daughter, she's a fool. Weak. She lets those awful women think for her. This is humiliating. Robert, I don't want to ruin her. I just want the ring back. If I get it back, I'll drop the charges. I'll call off the insurance company. Oh, you'll get it? He said, his voice flat and cold. I am going to handle this. Tuesday, 3 p.m. My apartment intercom buzzes. It's Robert. I go down to the lobby. He's standing there. Looking 20 years older. He's holding the little velvet ring box. Amelia is in his car parked out front. I can see her. She's in the passenger seat, staring at her lap, sobbing. Leo, Robert says, handing me the box. I can't apologize enough for her. For her friends. It's not your fault. Robert, I said, she's not a bad person. He said, rubbing his face, but she's weak and she's stupid. She pawned it, Leo, I recoiled. I physically took a step back. She what? She pawned it on Saturday for $3,000. Said she needed it to pay Talia's father back for the dinner because he was threatening Talia and to, I don't know, live on. My God. I had to go down to the pawn shop with the police report, he said, his voice shaking with anger. Show them the item was stolen property. It cost me $3,500 to get it back from them. She'll be paying me back until she's 40. He just looked at me. You're a good man, Leo. I love my daughter. But you dodged a bullet. He shook his head, turned, and walked out. As he was getting in his car, Amelia bolted out of the passenger side. She ran up to me in the lobby, her face an absolute mess of streaked mascara and tears. Leo, please. It was a mistake. I was scared. I had no money. You drove me to it. I just looked at her, the woman I thought I was going to marry. You drove yourself there, Amelia. The moment you giggled and agreed with Talia, this was over. The pawn shop? That was just pathetic. So that's it? She shrieked, and a neighbor peeked out of their door. 4 years. You're throwing our whole life away over money? No, I said, and I finally felt nothing. Just tired. I'm throwing it away over character. You don't have any. Go home, Amelia. I turned, went to the elevator, and didn't look back. The aftermath, I called the detective. Charges dropped. I called the insurance company. Claim canceled. I arranged a time for her to get her stuff. I had my brother and his very large friend there. She came with her mom, who just glared at me. They packed her clothes and her 800 skincare products and left. Her laptop was there. I'm not a monster. And the friends? The cherry on top. My friend Mark, who knows Becca, gave me the epilogue. Talia's father, a prominent lawyer, was apoplectic that she dropped an $800+ bill on his card, and then got his name involved in a potential police matter. He cut her off completely. Word is she's trying to sell her designer bags on Poshmark to make her rent. Becca and Chloe ghosted Talia. They're terrified of the drama and don't want to be associated with her, or more likely, her empty wallet. So, I'm out $18 for an old-fashioned and $5 for the tip. I have a $14,500 ring that I can't even look at. I'll sell it. I'll take a loss, but it's a cheap price to pay for my future. Amelia is 30. Unemployed, she was fired on Tuesday for a no-call. No show on Monday during her pawn shop panic. $3,500 in debt to her very angry father. She's lost her fiancé, her ring, and her best friends. She wasn't a victim. She was a volunteer. They wanted to test my worth. Turns out I was the only one in that room who had any.